Hello class. Today we are going to be talking about Chapter 4, Policing. This chapter goes over the history of how the police have handled different cases with race being the primary focus of the problem and how things have changed over time. Today we are solely going to be focusing on racial profiling. According to our text, racial profiling is any action that results in the heightened racial scrutiny of minorities, justified or not. So this primarily focuses on African Americans, Hispanics, Latinos, anyone that is not white, mostly just based on minorities. An example of racial profiling is given in our text from 1992, the Wilkins versus Maryland case. So this family was driving home to Washington, D.C. from a funeral of a family member when they were stopped by Maryland State Police officers. They unfortunately fit the profile of drug traffickers, so they were profiled. The family refused to be searched by the officers, but were actually forced to be sniffed out by a canine officer. And even though nothing was found, a family member decided to take action. He graduated from Harvard Law, and this case went on and highlighted the overrepresentation of African Americans in stops by Maryland police. So overall, this was a really good thing that it happened because it brought attention to that specific state. The next area of focus we're going to talk about is stop and frisk. This also ties into racial profiling. This occurs when police stop a pedestrian as they are going to or from work or school. This can also happen in a vehicle as well. Who are people targeted by stop and frisk? Our text says that people that are targeted are consumers, travelers, people crossing borders, and anybody who is being searched by any government official. This also includes being searched at airports. Data. There is so much data that has been gathered over the years to primarily show that stop and frisk and overall street stops as well have targeted more minorities than anybody else, especially African Americans. So in conclusion, we talked about Chapter 4 and racial profiling. We talked about what it is, who it targets most, and discussed our opinions. We went on to talk about stop and frisk and how this is primarily focused on minorities and how it can actually be used in everyday life as in the airport. So thank you.